Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chewing the Fat with Trev, myself, and also all the way across the pond, Mr. Glen Widdowson from the UK. Good morning, or Glen. How you going, mate?
Not bad.
Glen's been with us since end of July, isn't it? 20th of July, I think you actually started.
I think it was a bit that's when we started the program, but then it was a bit the actual thing started just in around about the beginning of August time.
Right, okay. In that time, Glen's lost excess of 30 kilos, or is it just on 30 kilos?
37.5.
37.5
in 18 weeks.
Jeebus H Christ. That's incredible. And that's why I wanted to have you on this Zoom chat, because, for many people, they're too far away, or it's too hard with their lifestyle, or it's this or it's that. There's a lot of reasons that show up for people that are all valid compared to what they're used to and what they're doing in life. And then we look at someone like you, Glen, who's I've spoken to you before about, who's just really inspiring and exciting to be on calls with each week. Because one of the things that shows up for me being a coach now with Dean in coaching people on this protocol is it can be one of 2 to 3 ways. It can be, and it has to be this way to work, I think, where it's inspiring, it's inspirational, and it's fun, and it's a game to play that we're going to win together. And it makes it really fun and easy to be on the calls with. We both walk away with a lot from each call, or it's going to be hard work with all the past reasons and justifications for things. And it's going to be there, my opinion about how things should be and what suits my body and what doesn't. And then I'm going to end up skull dragging people through the sand to get to their weight loss goal. And they may or may not. And usually when it goes that way, it doesn't work out well. And I thought it would be a great insight for current clients, people that are looking to, maybe, I don't know if I can do this. And if I do, is it going to work or not? And all that sort of thing. And just maybe get an insight into how you've come, well, first off, how you came to be with us from across, so many miles in the UK, how you got to the point you got to with your weight and your health, and how you've just attacked the protocol and the subsequent results you're getting from that. Because as we've said with you and your wife on many a call, if you can do it, anyone can do it.
Oh yeah.
So thanks for being on the call with me for starters, because I know you work shift work and odd times and stuff, and we've got to calibrate our calls each week, and you're dealing with someone that's not real cluey. I get mixed up with people talking to people from Adelaide, let alone across from the UK, and working different shifts. So thanks for making this work, and tell us a bit about yourself. How did you come to Simpler Health, and how did you get to where you got to?
Well, basically, I work in a hotel. So I'm a night manager in a hotel, in the middle of literally nowhere. And during the pandemic, obviously the all hotels were closed, but we still needed somebody at night time just to keep the hotel going. Well, for more security. Well, during that time, the hotel was, I didn't know the time, was looking at being bought out. So the director comes along with this gentleman, and who's staying just in the hotel, out of the way, nobody else, and introduced me and says, "Oh, this is David," and so it's like fair enough. And then we'll just carry on doing the nights. I do 4 nights on, 4 nights off, and over the next couple of months, we're chatting, and as he's coming down and getting to know him a bit more. And realizing, he's going to be the new. He's thinking about buying the hotel and everything. So we get, and then we're getting really, really friendly. and we're going into deep conversation about our health and everything. And at this point, I'd spent the first 7 months of the pandemic in lockdown, at home, not working. And my weight's always been a problem, but it got to the point where it literally just ballooned to literally over 25 stone. And I mentioned to David that just before the pandemic, my doctors were going to refer me to have a plastic band.
Yeah.
But obviously, all the NHSs all stopped everything. So, okay. And then that's when he turned around and goes, well, actually, I know Dean in Australia, because he's Australian, who actually did the program with myself. And because we're really good friends, and we're getting really good friends. And he goes, if you want to do it, if you're interested, because I've done it, I've seen the success, the amount of energy that it gave me is unbelievable. If you're willing to commit and do it, I'll get you in contact with Dean, and I'll pay for it. And I'm thinking, okay, right, okay, fair enough. I did all the UK, well, the NHS ones, the groups, how you do this, how you do that, and I've tried all the diets, and it's like nothing's worked, and it's like, okay. And so then David introduced me to Dean, and then that's how we got on the program. And it's like, and it was that commitment between not just Dean and yourself, but it was also this commitment to my friend, to my new boss, who's now paying for this. Is like, right.
It's a different level. It's a different level of being on the hook, isn't it? It's not just like I'm paying the money for myself. Yeah. I've got to get my money's worth. It's like now I'm on the hook from the boss to get this done.
Yeah. So I was skeptical about doing it because like I said, I've tried them all the diets. Can't eat this, can't eat that. You gotta do this. You got to spend 20 minutes eating your meal, and it's like, no, I want my meal hot. not cold at the end of it. And it's going all this smaller portion sizes, and it's like, I love my food. Anybody who knows me knows that I love what I eat. It's like there is no such thing as small portions if you can help it. But I did cut down. I cut down on everything that I should have, but I was still eating all the wrong stuff. Now that I find out by doing this, I was still eating a lot of crap. So anyway, so we start the program, and we're doing it. And yes, in the back of my mind, I'm going, right, I can't let David down. This is, you know what I mean? David's paying for it. And it's like, and then a couple of weeks into it, mine was like well, no, actually, I can see the difference. It's working. And that the part about somebody paying for it is like, it's coming less and less, and it's now becoming more about me. And I actually said that to him. He's like, I said to him, like, yes, thanks ever so much for doing this for me. But now it's more about me, because it's me that's doing the work and putting in all the effort to keep my mindset and how I go about it to do it. Because without that mindset, you're gonna mess up in anything that I found. And that stems back from when I used to do judo. That you have to have that mindset in what you do, because you have to go full on commitment. Anything you're doing, and if you're sparring someone and you mess up because you're not prepared, or you're not prepared to go the full length, somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
As pertaining to the person who's teaching, who was doing my black belt grading, that the day before I gave him concussion for 2 weeks. Because I did a throw that I wasn't fully committed to and prepared. So it was a really big throw, and it just so happened that mid-move, I turned it into a different one. He was expecting something else. So he's doing his break forward in mid-air because he's thinking, oh, I should be down here by this point, and then lands on the back of his neck, on the back of his head. Concussion for 2 weeks.
Right.
This is just before my black belt grading.
Yeah.
I didn't find it out until later that he had concussion.
We have spoken about that too, about the, because both Dean and myself, growing up and whatever, have done martial arts as well. And it's like the discipline, the mindset discipline of that helps, greatly. But when people hear that, there can be but I haven't done that sort of thing, so I haven't got that discipline, right? But when you say it out loud, like when I'm talking to you now about that, how we got that discipline was by doing those things. So, you can use the protocol to get that discipline by following the protocol as it's designed. And then at the end of it, what you have is that discipline. It doesn't just it's not like you sign up for a judo course and all of a sudden they hand you a bag and go, there's your discipline.
Oh no, it's anything. It's not just judo. It's anything you do in life. It's everything that you're trying to be a better person. You want to do things. It just boils down to that willingness. You've committed yourself to doing something, and it's almost like I'll put it down to more like an addiction. We've all got some kind of addiction in our life, whether it be drinking, smoking. I quit 7 years ago, but I did that religiously for God knows how many years. But we've all got something. But it's that
it can be exercise too.
Exercise. But it's getting yourself into a regular routine, knowing what you're doing, and just enjoying what you do. It's the enjoyment factor.
Yeah.
I think each week I look forward to my weigh day each week, thinking, shit, how much have I lost this week?
Yeah.
What am I going to reduce? Because before the pandemic, I was buying 6XL clothes. I went out the other day. I just gone and got myself a 2XL coat.
Wow.
And it's like my clothes. It's getting back into it. It's looking to seeing the bigger picture. It's always looking ahead and seeing where you can go, and it's not stuck at where are you right now. And it's still a learning process. Yeah,
that's great. And was there anything you dealt with around, for a lot of people, I think, especially if they get to a certain size, that there's some decision about, it's too late for me. I'm just without medical intervention, like surgery or whatever, then this is just the way I'm going to have to learn to live. This is where I've got to. This is where I've got to. And then, if they start something like this, there's a bit of trepidation in, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And I think that's one of the great things with this protocol and the coaching and the weekly calls and the accountability and all that sort of stuff, is that you start to alter the perception of who you are for yourself, that you can actually do these things. You can be trusted to stick to the protocol by way of you've just done it for the last week and the week before that and the week before that and the week before that. Anything you dealt with about that, starting the protocol, or were you just like, okay, this has to be done and let's just get on with it?
Well, I did have to. Well, there was that interpretation, and there was that. I got a sheet, and I'm looking through it, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, here we go. It's like fish. Oh, nope, not doing fish. Can't do fish. Never liked fish. No, I'm going down. And it's like, oh, the meat side of it. Yes, I do that. I still remember that message I sent to you because it's got that really, really bottom. I'm thinking, yeah, this is definitely an Australian call. It's like it's like it was buffalo, crocodile, kangaroo. I'm thinking to myself, where the hell am I going to get that over in the UK? And I messaged that. And I think it's like we could try the zoo, and it's like, yeah, but I don't think they take too kindly to that.
Yeah. That's another thing I should mention though, is for the people listening, is that like you are one of the fussiest dudes that I've had to coach as far as what you eat. Everything I've suggested. So why don't we integrate? No, I'm not going to stomach that. And what about this? Nah, I'm not going to eat that. It's just disgusting. I remember the first call just thinking, oh my God, this guy can eat pretty much steak and some lettuce. That's about it. He's just, I don't know how this is going to go. But it's been great. You know, you take it on little bits and pieces. Your wife works with me in hiding some vegetables in some other foods and stuff. And I think that's what shows up is if you can do it, if someone's this fussy and gotten to the size you had and you can still do it, anyone can do it.
But my level of fussiness is I used to be a chef, so
this is what astounds me too.
I used to be a chef, and it got to the point where even though I was a head chef, you're supposed to taste the food that you cook. No, I got everybody else to taste it for me. No matter what I cooked, I got everyone else to taste it. It came out perfectly fine, but my level of fussiness is, it's like mushrooms, garlic. Oh, no. It's like, no, they're the devil's food to me. No, it's like, don't touch it with a 10-foot barge pole. I've tried it. Don't get me wrong. I have tried all the food. I've done everything that there is, and I know my limits. And so then when I'm starting this, I'm going through the list, and I'm thinking, where's all the vegetables that I love? Nope. They're down here that says not prohibited. I'm thinking, shit. And I'm looking through the list. I'm going, I've no idea what that is. I've no idea. I've never heard of that. And I'm going down the list. And it's like, oh, can't stand that. Can't stand this. Can't stand that. Oh, cabbage, cauliflower. Yeah, I can do that. Cucumber. Oh, in abundance. Lettuce leaves. Rabbit food. Oh God, here we go. And then I think there's not much left on here for me. And it's like, that's where it started. And it's like, right. And then gradually it's got to the point where, yes, I'm now eating mushrooms, but I'm chopping those mushrooms up as fine as
you're eating, Glen. That's what's great. It's like, you know,
what does they have?
And I'm going to keep pushing you to other stuff, but there's just little things in there that you just at the initial conversation, I was just like, this is going to be hard freaking work for this guy. He's just like, you know, he's like me as a 5-year-old. Put porridge in my mouth and I'll throw up. That's how you seem to me with like pretty much everything on the list that you could eat. I was like, how's this going to freaking work? But, you know, how about we try a new vegetable this week? And then on the next call, your wife would say, I really finely cut the mushrooms and put them into the thing. He doesn't know they're there. I'm like, yes, tops.
Yeah. So that's how we're getting. So I'm actually getting more, but there is a certain few that's like, yeah, oh God, no. It just ruins everything.
No one likes elderly.
But no, I'm getting there. But it is one of those progress. You still learn to do it, and you continue. And it's also finding different ways to cook the same things. There's only so many different ways that you can eat cabbage.
Yeah,
but finding different ways.
I don't like 9 of the spices that are allowed. That makes it more.
I'm eating a lot of ginger and a lot of lemon.
Yeah, as long as you're eating it, that's good. So what have you got along the way? What are you getting so far for yourself along the way about anything really besides just the weight loss?
My health in general, it's so much better. I'm not getting out of breath no more. I'm able to. It's like work. It's work. So it's a 500-year-old building. is a lot of stairs. Two floors, and then you've got the basement if you want. But going up and down stairs, getting up to the second floor, it's like my heart is going, yeah, get me back down here. I've had enough now. It's like, sod this. But now it's like I can walk around the hotel, not get out of breath one iota, up and down the stairs. My health is a lot much better. It's like the simple things. When you're 25 stone, you're big. It's like the worst part is trying to put your socks on when your body is not flexible and doesn't bend. It's like down. and then it's like, go, Dyke, can you help me put my socks on? It's like, but it's just the little things that then become bigger. It's being able to move without getting out of breath.
Yeah.
Do my actual job. Do anything basically, and not feel that my weight is an issue anymore.
Isn't it? You know, the whole the pretense people have, and I had the same thing, because when I first started the protocol, I remember Dean saying, I want you to stop exercising for the first few weeks. And I'm like, no, I'm going to lose all my fitness. But then I've said on ample videos before, you know, just exactly what you're saying, being able to walk upstairs without losing my breath, where I was, even though I was training my backside off 4 days a week. And I was like, what the hell? You know, the whole, the relationship with the insulin response, and when you're over secreting insulin, it stiffens the the smooth muscle fibers in your body. So everything's now got to work, especially your heart, a lot harder to pump the same amount of blood without that help from the expanding vessels and stuff around it. So it's when you get that side of it, you're like, okay, then. So that's why I'm training less. I'm technically supposed to be less fit, but I can walk up the stairs pretty quickly and not have to catch my breath again.
Yeah.
Flies in the face of logic to me.
Yeah. When in a hotel, it doesn't look good that you're showing a guest to a room. You're getting to the second floor, and you actually look like you're about to collapse, and you have a guest going, "Are you okay?"
Okay, yeah.
I'm fine. I just need to get my breath back. But no, it is a lot more beneficial, and anybody who does it will see the improvement. I can guarantee it. And
getting back into the martial arts again, we spoke about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm obviously coming up to this time of year at the moment, and looking at different courses, but then also looking at my shift pattern, because I'm finding it, but I'm probably going to be thinking about doing something other than judo, and probably I'm looking at like Brazilian, along the lines of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, something along that lines.
It was funny. I knew I was talking to you tonight, and on TV, I was watching the news or something beforehand, and there was some story about it was one of those current affairs shows where they have pit people against people and town disputes and stuff. And the business that was having the drama with the people over the road was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So I just went, that's funny. I'm talking to Glen in an hour.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking to myself, it's like, well, it was the same as when I first started doing it. I mean, my weight has always been an issue, even from when I was a child. I mean, when I was 10 years old, I was 10 stone and going to see a dietitian. I was the original chubby fat kid and bullied. So back then it was, I say back then, it's like I'm feeling old now, considering it. But I'm going back near enough 37 years now.
Yeah.
And it's like, what sport can we do? I was thinking, what sport? And I was just, my dad used to be a caretaker of a leisure centre, and this is where there was a judo club. And I thought, you know what? I can do that. No, I can do that, not a problem. And pretty much after I started doing that, I wasn't bullied anymore.
I was going to say, it's the perfect sport for kids that get bullied. It's like, what do I want to do? Defend myself.
Yeah. So, and it became a family thing. It was like, at one point, it was me, my brother, my sister, even my mum was doing it.
Yeah, right.
And then over the years, it sort of evolved, and they went away from it, but I kept on still doing it, and went to a different form of doing it, which was a lot more intense, because my black belt grading was 7 hours long without a break, about broke me. Opposed to having to actually fight for your belt, this was more, you had to know what you were doing. Everything that you had learned, you had to incorporate and show that you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
To the point where I was then got my black belt, my first dan, my second dan. I was teaching 6-7 year olds how to do it, but when you're my size, you don't really want to land on them because they will hurt. Unfortunately, over the years, sustained injuries of sprained ankles, sprained knees, and it takes its toll. And then obviously my ankle, after 2 ankle surgeries, it got to the point where I just couldn't get back into it, plus my weight. And it's like, I thought to myself that if I went back to it, that's it, my ankle's going to go again. Yeah. And so I've stayed away from it. But now that my health is a hell of a lot better, I'm thinking, you know what? Call it a midlife crisis, I don't care. But no, I'm going to go back and do something that's similar, but it's going to be a bit more intense. And I do this now.
Learning again too, that's the great thing about the protocol, and what people I think get lost in just the general course of life, is that there was a whole heap of things they used to really love doing and put a lot of time and effort into, and they fall by the wayside because life gets a bit busier. They start packing on kilos. It becomes too hard to do that. And then it's just like, that's just a part of getting old. And what people see when they start dropping the weight is all those, initially there's just a desire to start moving again. And then there's what's showing up for you, which is fantastic. All the passions and stuff you had when you were younger start to resurface. And you're like, wow, I could maybe do that again, where before they were just impossible. They weren't even in the view to be able to do. So good. So good. I'm really excited to, once you're ready to get back into that and all that sort of thing, just to see how you go with that, and the whole new learning, what you bring from the judo into the new one you do, and all that sort of thing. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It's going to be a challenge, but I know that I have the passion, should we say, that I have the passion that once I start something, I'm committed to doing it. Yeah. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. It's how I've always been. It's no. I said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's how it should be, and that's what it's going to be.
Really,
no matter what.
You've done the protocol so far, Glenn. It's been, like I said, it's been a real pleasure to be able to coach you and bring you this far. And I'm looking forward to the next, 30 kilos.
Oh God, yes.
And but going the way you're going, it's not going to be very long until we get there, and you're just a little fighting machine. So thanks for spending the time with me tonight. And for you guys, I hope you got a lot out of that. What I take away from it is, and I get this nearly all the time, is that just giving yourself 100%, handing yourself over and putting the trust in the people you've come to in the first place for the help, and doing the protocol as designed, voila, the results show up. It's amazing, Yeah. A quick share with you, Glenn, about what's available on the other side. I'm generally resist weighing myself. I've been that way for years, right? And before I started the protocol, I didn't even have scales in the house to weigh myself. When Dean said, just weigh in and send me the details, I was like, I haven't got any scales, mate. I don't know what to tell you. So I had to buy the body comp scales to measure myself and everything. And then I sort of soon realized why I don't like weighing myself, because that's a real slap in the face of reality. And then I sort of noticed, since I'd finished the protocol, it was a few months, and I thought, why am I resisting getting on the scales to see where I'm at? And then I sort of had myself get on the scales and then went, there's why, because I'm great at justifying how well I'm going, looking in the mirror and how clothes fit and what belt notches I'm on and all that sort of stuff, where that says otherwise, because I'd started to put on the weight again, right? And I had a couple of conversations with Dean, and he's like, you have to sort yourself out, mate. Work out what you're doing. Pull yourself. You can't just keep running back into phase one whenever you start putting on a couple of kilos. We need to manage this ongoingly. So, I think once I'd put on those 4 or 5 kilos again, I consciously got back to where I finished phase 3 and 4 on, and then set about managing what I'm doing ongoingly. I jumped on the scales yesterday because I started to feel like this time of year, you're starting to catch up with people. I helped Dean move house a couple of days ago, and we had 2 beers. Wow. And a sort of decent, sort of reasonable lunch, but I'd caught up with a couple of other people and had a couple of beers with them, and had this up at my son's bakery. And I should just get on the scales and get that slap of reality. I'm actually 1.7 kilos lighter now than when I finished phase 3. So pretty astounding. I was just like, wow, okay, I'm doing something right then. So, that's what you've got to look forward to at the end of the day. And then what shows up for me now is just really, I've got this now. I'm not playing games. I'm not trying to work things out. I'm not trying to trial things. I'm not trying to do things. I'm fine. I've got it sorted. Not that that's just foot off the pedal and I can do what I like now, but I'm just on top of what's happening day to day, and I can manage this for the rest of my life. So that was a good little surprise, and it spurs you on like it does with you. Now I've sort of thought I was twitching the other way a little and thought, I should just jump on and check. Wow. 1.7 kilos lighter than I had when I finished phase 3 of the protocol. Awesome. I'm going to step it up a notch. I'm going to tighten it right in and, get down another maybe kilo or so. It's phenomenal how that works. But, it's very easy to go down the rabbit hole of when you're putting in the effort and not getting the results.
Yeah.
Why are you going to keep doing that? So again, I thank you so much for taking it on how you have. It's been a real pleasure, and I'm excited to get on our calls each week, because I'm just like, this is tops. Can't wait to try and make Glen eat another vegetable. Hear about his week, and hear your wife in the background with her funny comments. It's been great. So thanks for being on the call with me. Thanks for contributing to the other people on the project, because that's part of the design. You want to step out of your comfort zone, and I know this wasn't the first thing you'd jump at doing. So thanks for jumping out of your coaching. Thanks for jumping out of your comfort zone, taking the coaching, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, all I can say is just it works. The coaching and everything, and just thank you to yourself and for Dean for bringing this to everyone's attention.
Not a problem, mate. Pleasure. That's what we're doing it for. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. There's another episode of Chewing the Fat. Dean and I will be back soon with another one. We haven't done one for ages, actually. Dean and I, we should get back on and do another one and go over a lot of the things I've talked about for myself tonight and how it's all worked ongoingly. So thanks for tuning in. Feel free to share these videos with anyone you see fit. If you like what I did there, should go into comedy. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see you again on the next episode of Chewing the Fat. See you, Glen.
Bye now.